Hi, welcome to Rev Sports. We are joining for the post-day live. Obviously, day two has been interrupted by rain. Nothing really has happened. We got Shomik, Bharat, and Snehashi joining for the live. Guys, we have to talk about this. It's unfortunate. I think a lot of criticism is coming towards the planning of the second test match as well. I think Shomik's having a bit of an internet issue, so we'll just take him out for now. But Snehashi and Bharat, a lot of backlash has been, seen at the moment on social media and everywhere that better planning should have been done. It's not the way that this whole test match should have been planned out. Obviously, rain can happen, but I'm sure they would have understood, in this particular part of the world or in this particular part of India, that we can expect rain, so we shouldn't play a test match. So all these things could have been accounted for, in my opinion, earlier on. Snehashi, let's start off with you. What do you think? Obviously, this whole hype behind the India Bangladesh Test match, even we built it up so much, spoke about the players, spoke about the scenarios, and if it rains off like this, it's pretty much pointless.
Yes, absolutely. I can understand that as a board, you want, to use every ground as a venue at at some point in your season. But when you're selecting a venue, you have to take account of all these factors like rain and everything. So I think in the social media, as you mentioned, that I also saw that many fans are saying that Kanpur is known for this. They are not a good venue, and the drainage system. They are not very happy with the drainage system also because today there was not such heavy rain. There are heavy rain for 10 to 15 minutes and too little bit of showers. But and then there is no rain, and then again they fail to start the match. So I think overall it's a disappointing because it's a Saturday and you expect more crowd today because you expect more crowd today, especially India playing. And as you all know that grounds in Kanpur don't get such big matches like India playing and especially test matches. So I think in a Saturday or on a Sunday you expect more crowd, so it's a disappointing for them. But I would like to ask Shamikda about it because Shamikda is from the ground. So Shamikda, can you explain to our viewers about it? Because what happened? Because it should have been some amount of game time after whatever rain happened today in the morning.
When it is raining, irrespective of venues, we can't do anything. I tell you the whole sequence. Around 8:15, when I came to the ground, only the center square was covered, and then it started drizzling, which gradually intensified. Around 9:15, it was a steady rain, and the entire outfield went under wraps. After that, there was another spell of rain, short, very short, but around 11. But there has been a steady drizzle, very, very light drizzle. If they were playing, they wouldn't have come up. It was that kind of a light drizzle. But it's because the play didn't start and the ground was under wraps. And there were puddles of water. By quarter to 12, super sockets started rolling, and they started to dry the top surface of the covers. But then again, the signs had been ominous. The play was never going to happen. At 1:58, the umpires walked in, had a chat with the ground staff, and then they dropped the curtain. So basically, now it is not raining. The light is good, but then again, you have. I mean, it's unfortunate for the what we can say. It's unfortunate for the spectators here. Even despite knowing that there could be uncertainty as far as play is concerned, fans had been turning up since early morning, so it's very unfortunate.
Yeah, yeah. Thanks for that, Shamikta. Bharat, obviously the drainage system is an issue here, like Shamikta mentioned, and the fans who have turned out to come and see this test match. So let's hear your views. Disappointing, of course, because like Shamikta mentioned, a lot of fans will be turning out to see this game. And if it rains, then it's heartbreak for everyone. And even if it stopped raining, if there could have been a scenario where play could have resumed, then it's the ground staffs and the grounds possible problem here because this should not be happening. If the rain stopped, the game should be started as soon as possible. So what are your overall thoughts of this scenario?
Yeah, I guess in a country like India, where there are so many cricket stadiums, for test matches, it's better to look at only five, six centers, six, seven centers where there are drainage facilities, all the facilities. That is where I guess they should hold the test matches. See, Kanpur, it's an old ground. In Kanpur, don't really get much rain from what I know during the seasons. For example, last year, Kanpur had over 4 months from June to August. It had 728.7 millimeters rain. That's not great. If you look at state like Meghalaya, it receives over 11,000 millimeters of rain during that time. It's just 700 millimeters of rain is not great. Around 800 millimeters you usually expect in a city like Kanpur. So perhaps they were not really prepared for something like this. That is why the drainage facilities are also not great, or sub-air system is not there at a ground like Kanpur. In recent times, in these days, even not just in India, unless it is in Sri Lanka where you get a lot of cheap labor and you can get some 100 curators, 100 groundsmen who can come in and help to completely cover the entire ground. It's very difficult very difficult to stay afloat in modern times without any good drainage facilities. Even if you look at in England, they don't look for such cheap labor because there is no cheap labor in country like England. Nowadays, most of the grounds have this high-tech drainage facility, sub-air system. At Chinnaswamy, you have sub-air system. Even when there is torrential rain, even when it rains for a couple of hours, after just 45 minutes, play will again start at Chinnaswamy because they have the sub-air system. So,
Yeah.
such centers, India should host test matches. Yeah, I understand a lot of associations are there, and to please all of them, have test matches at different venues. But
Yeah.
Kanpur is a very old ground, and it doesn't have the drainage facilities, and they're not prepared for rain. As I said, you don't get much rain in Kanpur generally. 700 millimeters, 800 millimeters of rain during 4 months between June to September, October is not huge, and they will, I think, just not prepared that such kind of rain will come over a week, 2 weeks, or 3 weeks, and I think it really went against them. Hopefully,
Yep.
they
Absolutely.
learned the lesson, and next time they will host test matches at only certain centers in India.
Sneshish, but this
Ishan,
being
Ishan,
not
Ishan,
prepared. Yeah.
Ishan, just yeah, Ishan, I just give you the whole picture of how it operates in Pakistan really fast. See, unlike the other venues, other centers, like in Bombay, Wankhede Stadium is owned by the Mumbai Cricket Association. In Calcutta, Eden Gardens is owned by Cricket Association of Bengal. Here, here the Green Park Stadium is not owned by the local state cricket association, which is UPCA. It is owned by uh, the local administration, the local government. And every time a match happens, state association has to go to the government agencies to seek permission. Now, what happens when you have your own stadium? You can do the renovation work or the upgradation as per your requirement. And the government basically, as because it is not a UPCS
Hmm.
stadium, they can't do it without government's permission. And the government usually come matches, international matches in Kanpur are few and far between. So it is not a priority job for the local government also. So this is one issue. And I just back to 2019 at a press conference in Ranchi. I asked Virat Kohli about whether India should have, like in England and Australia, 5 or 6 specific test centers. And he absolutely said yes, we should have 5 strong test centers where test cricket would be played. So that was Virat Kohli's opinion.
Yep.
It will not happen because of rotation, but ideally you can keep 5 or 6 strong test centers where you allowed only test matches apart from the IPL. And as far as the white ball internationals, you you do the rotation job, you rotate them between other venues. That should be an
Yeah.
ideal scenario, but it is unlikely to happen.
Surely, surely, yes, yes. Sneshish, I was going to ask you the similar question. Do you think it's an excuse to say that you're not prepared, even if you don't expect so much rains. But if it does happen, they always say prepare for the worst. And do you think it's an excuse to say that we just weren't prepared and it was something that we can't do anything about because it was out of our control? Because this is an international match you're playing and not playing a domestic match or a school match where these excuses can be passed. Your thoughts on this?
Actually, I think at any stage you cannot say that it was not in our hand or we cannot do anything. I think you have to, as you said, that you have to be prepared for the worst and worst conditions, and you know that you as a association, you as a ground staff, you know what kind of weather you can expect at this time of the year. So I think you have to think about the worst and have to be prepared for that only. But you cannot just up your hands and say I cannot do anything, it's out of
Surely.
our hands. So surely, because it's not only about cricket, everything is associated, the broadcasting, the cricket, the fans, there are every stakeholders that all are associated with this game. So I think for this one, one mistake, everyone is getting affected, and
Yeah.
ultimately it will cost the association only. From the next time when a match will come, even a test series against Bangladesh, even they will not get that match only, because once even fans will not turn up even if they get the match, because they know today the weather is forecast, again the rain will come, and even if we turn up despite the rain, we will not get to watch the match. So I think from all the aspect, the association needs to be very clever and needs to be very hardworking enough to to be prepared for this type of situation. So you cannot say at any stage that we are not prepared and we cannot do anything. I think that is absolutely wrong.
Truly, truly. And there's a comment here as well. This is so frustrating and disappointing. What is the use of being such a big and rich board? You have everything which a lot of boards don't have. Only this you have to focus on. And yeah, so I think the point here is the same. It's the same, but I think it's a little more harsh than the way the comment has been put out there. Bharat, we'll put this topic to rest. Any final thoughts on this rain topic before we just talk about what we can expect from the day tomorrow?
About the rain or the test match?
About the rain, the final thoughts about the rain before we move on, just to give us, yeah,
I guess I've told everything. How many millimeters of rain Kanpur gets as well, so not much to
yeah.
add. Yeah, they have if a test match has to be held at a venue like Kanpur.
But do
Uh,
you agree with the statement, Bharat, over here?
yeah, from fans' perspective, obviously it's very frustrating from a fan's perspective because you expect modern test venue to have these drainage facilities and all this equipped with all these facilities, but unfortunately that's not the case with many grounds, not just Kanpur. I guess with a sizable number of grounds in India, we still don't have the sub-air systems, the modern aeration drainage systems. I don't think we have that. So it's better that such systems are installed. Because as I gave the example of Chinnaswamy, I remember last year it was a Gujarat Titans versus RCB game. At 3 o'clock it started, 3 p.m. it started to rain. The game was at 7 p.m. At till 6:30 it rained and the match started at 7:15. So
Hmm.
toss was
Yeah.
done just 15-20 minutes the delay in toss and the match started basically almost bang on time, maybe 15 minutes delay. So in 45 minutes they were able to clear it up because of the modern day drainage system. So
Yeah. Yeah.
that
Sure.
is how it should be, especially obviously BCCI have the money, so they have the required resources. If they really want to hold test matches, then I think you expect fans at least expect stakeholders. Fans are also stakeholders. You have to understand that they will expect such stadiums to have the kind of modern day state of the
Surely.
art facilities. So that is how it is.
Surely.
But the reality is different. So we have to accept that this is the reality at Kanpur.
Yeah. The
As I
reality
said,
is very
I don't
harsh.
think they
Ishan,
expect,
Ishan,
expect rain. So
Yeah.
this is why it happened.
Yes. Thanks, Bharat.
Ishan,
Yes, Shavik.
what we are we are missing, what we are missing here is the biggest picture.
Shavik, I think there's a bit of a network issue.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me
Yes. Yes.
now? Yeah. So what we are missing here is the bigger picture. India needs three more wins to seal their place at the World Test Championship final. Like they were like to
Shavik,
lose
there
to
was
Bangladesh
a
2-0,
network issue. I think you'll
and
have to
then
join again,
another.
Shavik. I think you'll have to join again.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, I will do.
Yeah.
I will do that.
Thank you. Thank you. Sneshish, we'll just talk a little bit about what we can expect tomorrow before we end this live. First of all, day three. What are your thoughts? So the score at the moment is, I'll just let you know. I think Bangladesh are 107 for three. Yeah, 107 for three. Going into day three, where is this test match heading, in your opinion?
See, 2 days gone, not much of game has been made. So I think overall we have to check the weather forecast for the next 3 days. But overall, I think it's very difficult to get a result from this match because I expect at least, if not all 3 days of rain, but at least one day or 1.5 day will be again some rain will be there. So I think overall it is very difficult to get a result. And I think Somikta also was pointing out that only that the bigger picture is WTC final. Ultimately, if the game doesn't happen, it will affect your numbers. It will affect your winning percentage. I know that India already ahead a match, but apart from the WTC also, a game is not being played means it is affecting your preparation also ahead of the New Zealand series and most importantly the Border Gavaskar series in Australia, because your main players, big players, are coming back after a long gap and especially after playing white ball cricket.
Yeah.
It was just one test match with the red ball, and so this was another match where they could have got some game time with the bat and ball, but due to this rain, they are not getting. So I think overall the New Zealand series is not going to be easy comparatively to this Bangladesh series. So I think overall, I think it is hampering overall India mostly rather than Bangladesh or anything. Because on the other side, if you see Sri Lanka are doing fabulously against New Zealand at their home, and the way they are playing, they are expected to win that match also, this match also. So I think Sri Lanka is the dark horse right now in that race to the WTC final. We all hoping that India will play better in Australia and will not get a very disappointing result like 4-1 or 5-0. But still, in cricket, you cannot say anything. You have won 2 times, but who says you may not be lucky for the third time? So if there is a bad result for India in Australia, then might be Sri Lanka might get you out of the top two spot, and you may end up at three, and Sri Lanka might get into the top spot with Australia. So I think, and that point we will all discuss that this match that day. यार वो मैच हो जाता तो हम अगर जीत जाते तो हम चले जाते. So I
Yes.
think so I think all this affecting ultimately India, and especially the preparation. I am not worried about the result of this match. I am worried about the preparation because all your big guns are coming after a long time back. So I think overall the preparation is hampering. Hopefully we might get maximum of game time in the coming 3 days. Hopefully, but the result are difficult for this match.
Yeah, fair points. I think some
Excellent
hard
points,
facts to cover.
Nehakesh. Excellent points. Absolutely excellent point.
Why don't you just take it ahead from there, Shangita?
Yeah, am I audible now?
Yeah, sure.
So you are absolutely spot on, Nehakesh. Before the start of this Bangladesh series, India needed 4 wins to seal their place in the WTC final. Now they won. They won in Chennai, and you would have you would have expected them to clinch in Bangladesh in the top series, right? And then New Zealand would be a tougher opponent. But ideally, India would have liked to seal the spot before going to Australia. You never know what can happen, what will happen in Australia, because Australia this time I mean, revenge will be on their back. Revenge is not a word from losing sport, but Australia, after back-to-back series losses, they will try to prove a point. So we don't know what is going to happen in Australia. Ideally, we would like to seal your WTC final spot before going to Australia. And from that point of view, just 3 days of play left. There is forecast of rain tomorrow also. You don't know what is going to happen. If it is a draw, then that will be, I mean, a bump in the road for India.
Shamik, do you see play possible? There are forecasts of rain tomorrow, right? Just to confirm.
See, there is forecast of rain, but the forecast today, like it was 70%. Today it was a little less, 50%. I mean, the thing is that if it doesn't rain during playing hours, play will be possible. If it rains during playing hours, we don't know what is going to happen.
Okay. Thank you, Shabika. Bharat, so we'll just end this live with your final thoughts. What do you expect of day three? Uh, do you expect there to be some sort of play if it rains as well? And where do you see this final test match going? And also give us your final thoughts on, that WTC final.
Yeah, some scattered thunderstorms are expected tomorrow as well, I guess. Precipitation is around 60%. That means some kind of rain is expected as well tomorrow. But as you know, even little bit of rain, it seems like it's very difficult at a stadium like Kanpur just restart the match. So it is not looking great as far as this match is concerned. Yeah, World Test Championship, obviously, Sri Lanka are doing very well against New Zealand. I saw that New Zealand have been absolutely thrashed in the first innings. In second innings too, they are now losing wickets. So they're set to win that Test series 2-0, and obviously they will move up. Already they have 50% PCT. So with 4 wins, and they will go up to 5 wins. So Sri Lanka are making a move. The next series also they can win 2-0 is also, I guess, at home against Australia. So Sri Lanka definitely making a move there, a dark horse, and India. If this test match, you still expect India to go through unless something really bad happens in Australia where they end up losing 4-0, 5-0. Yeah, there is one threat for India and Australia. Obviously, the Australia will this time start at Gabba. Remember, second is Perth, third is Adelaide. So the Australians are basically and they said then a test. So we're basically hoping that by the end of the third test, Australia will be leading 3-0. That is from their perspective. So that is one threat for India, but still you don't expect India to lose so badly. But if something like that happens against them and a test match against New Zealand is drawn again due to rain or some other reason, then India could be in a little bit of uncertainty when it comes to World Test Championships. So from that basis, this test match, who knows? At the end of the World Test Championship cycle, it might go
Yeah.
against India, but although it doesn't seem so, but that's the larger picture. For now, hopefully, there will be some kind of play in this test match, at least from fans' perspective. Always
Hopefully.
remember, fans are also stakeholders here. I don't exactly like even in gender from a gender perspective. When I see Lathi charge being done on poor fans at certain stadiums, because you have to also consider them as the stakeholders. So at least from that perspective, hopefully there will be some play and they will enjoy some good cricket. Even if this
Yeah,
test match
I think that's
doesn't end in a result,
yeah.
if this test match doesn't end in a result, hopefully from that perspective there will be some kind of play.
Surely, I think that's all. That's what I think all of us will want to see some play tomorrow, just to get that cricket going once again, make the fans happy as well. Thank you to all of you all for joining, and thank you to the audience as well. We'll catch you all tomorrow for the pre-show. Hopefully, again that there is play. Shomik Kida will give you all the updates and fan reactions as well. So, a lot to look forward to. Day three is still there, and this test match can still well and truly be alive. Who knows? Some interesting day three, an interesting day four with no rain, and then all of a sudden day five is well set up. So a lot to catch up for. So make sure you stay tuned for F Sports and make sure you like, share, subscribe. We'll catch you all very, very soon. Thank you.